We all know cash flow is the lifeblood of any business. Today, we're going to talk about what the true cost of dealing with a bank is. Not just numbers as far as how much interest you're paying, but the true financial cost, the true emotional cost of dealing with a bank. Hi, I'm Olivia Kirk.
I'm Tim Yurek. We're from Tier 1 Capital, and we're here to show you how to regain control of your money.
It's easy to think about banks, dealing with banks when it comes to, the origination fee is going to cost me this. The interest rate is going to be this for this many years. We know all of that. But what is the true cost of dealing with a bank and depending on a bank for access to money?
Well, I think the first and foremost issue is you don't control that process at all.
Yeah, we've all applied for a bank loan. You have to show them everything.
Exactly. And there could be things that are going on in the economy that are outside of your control, and your business could be doing very well, but because of external factors, the bank may look at your application for a loan or application for a credit line much differently than they would have, let's say, during a time of economic prosperity.
Exactly. And during a time of recession, 30 to 50% of applications for loans get denied. So think about it. You need more money to run and grow your business to be successful. But the bank looks at your stuff, everything you have now, your cash flow, your assets, your revenue, your everything, and they say, okay, this is not good enough. I can't give you any money. You're too big of a risk for us to take on right now. Sorry. So what do you do then?
Well, so there's that helplessness. You need access to capital, and the bank is turning off the faucet. So that's a very difficult situation to be in. And for business owners that have been out there, not having access to the credit line, not having access to the ability to get loans, obviously puts you in a much more difficult situation financially and inhibits your ability to run and grow your business.
Well, think about the stress that causes, not just on the business financially, but also what that causes for the business owner, their health, their family life, everything that goes along with that. If you're not doing well in your business, then it could certainly carry over into all those other things.
And think about this. Intuit did a study, and they found that 61% of small business owners struggle from chronic or cyclical cash flow issues. So again, this is that access to capital thing. They also found in that same study, 69% of small business owners lose sleep or sleep less due to cash flow concerns. Now, there have been all sorts of studies connecting lack of sleep and increased stress increases our incidence of heart disease by 200% and cancer by 40%. And here's something even more amazing. The life expectancy of a small business owner is a full 5 years less than the average American. So think about this. All of this stress that comes from cash flow related issues that may or may not be within our control is literally killing us.
Yeah. And the irony is most people get into business for that sense of financial freedom. And what they get instead are these chronic and cyclical cash flow concerns that cause this big, heavy stress. So the question becomes, how do we relieve that stress? How do we set ourselves up as business owners so that we're not affected by this stress by building a pool of capital that we have full liquidity, use, and control over?
And the key is preparing yourself for the ultimate economic downturn or external factors that prevent you from continuing to be dependent on banks for capital. You've got to create your own capital. And that's why we're advocates of people putting money away during prosperous times so that they're going to be prepared when the shoe drops and everybody else is struggling for access to capital.
They say hindsight is 20/20. And looking back, you may or may not have gone through a time of economic downturn. But looking ahead, we could probably see one coming soon. right? So taking those steps now to prepare yourself and your business, no matter where you are, to be in a position of strength during those downtimes is going to be what is going to move you ahead down the line.
It's going to give you that unfair advantage that your competitors and your peers don't have. Why? Because you're going to have access to capital at a time when they don't.
Well, when you have access to capital, you have access to opportunities that other people don't have, right? So if you don't have access to money, the opportunities aren't going to come knocking on your door because people know you don't have money.
Yeah, but like Nelson Nash told me many years ago, when you have access to capital, opportunities will find you. And boy, that is so true.
So we use whole life insurance designed for cash value accumulation here at Tier 1 Capital. We design these policies to build up a pool of cash that you have full liquidity, use, and control over, plus a death benefit. But we're able to access that money through the loan provision while you're alive, right? So we're able to build up that pool of cash, and you as a business owner could use that money to cover payroll, expand the business, buy inventory, invest in new equipment, invest in new technology, all of these things that are going to come up and do come up and require capital to push through. If you'd like to learn more about how to put these strategies to work for you, your business, and your family, be sure to visit our website at tier1capital.com to schedule your free strategy session today. Also, if you like this video, be sure to give us a thumbs up and check out these two. We picked them out special for you.
Thanks so much for watching our video. And remember, it's not how much money you make.
It's how much money you keep that really matters. We'll see you in the next one.